Welcome back. Now, not that many Nigerians had doubts about it, but former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has officially declared that he will contest the 2027 presidential election. In other words, he's confirmed that he is going to be on the ballot and will certainly emerge as the candidate of the African Democratic Congress ADC, the party he defected 2 weeks ago. So this declaration may potentially foreclose the chances of any other candidate picking the presidential ticket of the party. Now, Atiku insists the ruling APC can no longer dismiss the growing momentum within the ADC-led coalition, which he says has been quietly bringing together heavyweight politicians and power brokers across the country. He says his coalition will shock the world in 2027. But then, in an interesting twist, former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amaechi has also declared that there is, quote, no retreat, no surrender in his quest to contest the 2027 presidential election under the platform of the African Democratic Congress ADC. The former Minister of Transport insists that every aspirant in the party has the right to seek the ticket, describing the contest as healthy for internal democracy. Meanwhile, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has announced he will not be contesting for any political position in the 2027 general election. So definitely El-Rufai is not going to be on the ballot in any shape or form. But then Atiku Abubakar has indicated he is surely going to be on the ballot. And here you have Rotimi Amaechi saying a similar thing as well. Joining me now to dissect this further is Swimbo El-Rufai, who is a political scientist. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Mr. El-Rufai. It's good to have you here once again. When you listen to Atiku Abubakar, do you get the impression that, the opportunity for any other candidate to emerge from the ADC is a foregone conclusion, so to speak, other than Atiku Abubakar?
I think that's the easy way to put it, because Atiku is an experienced politician. He's been at this game now for I think almost 3 decades or thereabouts. So with a politician of his status, you don't expect him to start a fight he doesn't see himself with a fair chance of winning. So like we've discussed in the past, like it's obvious that the ADC was set up as a vehicle for him to help him achieve his objective. So he's only speaking to what we already know. It's only strange and funny that we have a situation where some other people have joined the party that's been erroneously labeled a coalition, assuming or deluding themselves into believing that they have a chance, or that they have a fair chance of emerging as the candidates under the platform of the ADC. Like you said in the past, the ADC is a special purpose vehicle supposedly set up to actualize candidate Atiku Abubakar's aspiration to become the president of Nigeria come 2027. So whoever has has joined the train believing that something else might be the outcome at the end of the primaries in the party is clearly not well informed and has not done his homework.
Does this then leave people like Peter Obi and, Rotimi Amaechi, who has said he is definitely going to contest? And Peter Obi has made it very clear that he is also going to be on the ballot. He's also part of the ADC coalition.
Easy. The question we should really ask ourselves is Peter Obi on a part of the ADC, because as we speak, is neither here nor there. He has one leg in the Labour Party, maybe half of a leg in another half in the PDP. So I'm not convinced that he is completely convinced as to what he should be doing concerning. Don't forget that even beyond those three platforms, we have students who are willing to go it on their own, who have said to themselves that even if the Labour Party platform does not work out for them, they're ready to float a whole new platform for him to be able to realize his ambition. I think there is a mix of. I think it of it started out being an arrangement. There was a bit of a chance for him to be able to emerge as a candidate of that of the party. Actually, must have thought there was indeed a coalition, but I've always maintained that we don't. There's no coalition. What we have is another party, is a third force, is a platform. Having realized that Atiku Abubakar, having realized that Atiku was able to pick the ticket for the PDP, had to move on time, and he shopped around for a platform. And maybe when the SDP arrangement didn't work out, he opted for ADC. So the platform, no matter what they say, no matter what is presented out there, is solely about Atiku Abubakar. I think for Rotimi Amaechi, his own arrangement is not makes a bit of sense, because I don't see him not being ready to settle as a running mate under that platform. The only challenge we have, the only person who has a challenge might be Peter Obi, who is caught between running as a second, playing the second fiddle role in that party, or running as a front runner, as a flag bearer, as his supporters want for him to be.
So, do you think Atiku coming out openly, because look, we'd always known that Atiku wants to run, but that for him to come out openly to say, look, I'm not just that I'm going to contest the primary, but that I'm going to be on the ballot. Do you think he was deliberately sending a message to anyone who might be nursing a presidential ambition within the ADC coalition now to actually understand that, there's just no space?
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. You know that he was responding. There are people who had gone out there and purported to have been speaking on his behalf, creating the impression that the ADC platform was going to create a level playing field for everybody to just come on board and play the game, and whoever emerges as the winner of the primaries would be the candidate of the party. But Atiku has been clear from outside. So what he has done is just to remove whatever element of doubt that might be out there. So his supporters are clear on what his direction is and what is set out to achieve concerning 2027. And particularly people from the north, he wants them to be assured that he's going to be on that ballot, because that's what he's counting on, that as his base for the 2027 election. And I think, again, therefore, for other aspirants on that platform, is for them to know that this platform is ease, and it's high time that they begin to look beyond the ADC platform if they intend to be on the ballot in 2027.
And really,
that message.
Yeah, and really, if you look at it, I mean, the party is now being populated by his followers. So, I mean, leaving the PDP and some leaving the APC to join. Clearly, the party is being populated by his followers. But look, if he ran in 2027, of course, he said he's going to run anyway. But by 2027, he'll be close to 81. I'm just wondering, and he said he's going to shock, that, the ADC is going to shock the world. I'm wondering how you think, his candidacy will be received, and do you think, I mean, from what he said, that, we might experience some kind of seismic activity, political activity now in 2027, like an earthquake that could maybe push out the ruling party and then bring in Atiku?
I'm not as optimistic as he is. I can't be, but you can't blame him, because to be a politician is for you to be able to remain ever optimistic, no matter what the clouds might look like. You're playing politics at that level, you have to remain optimistic. Otherwise, you might as well just push up and go back home. He needs to keep his base happy. He needs to keep his base believing and trusting that 2027 will work out in his favor. The permutations for 2027 are not clear right now, but you can tell even at this moment that if he's going to be on the ballot, and then Peter Obi is going to be on the ballots, then the outcome is more like a forgotten conclusion, because that's in any case, that's definitely telling us that we're going to have a third force. And usually when a third force comes into play, it favors the incumbent. So he might be able to raise some substantial support. He might be able to divide votes or gain a bit of more followership than he had in 2023 from the North. But at the end of the day, it's not going to translate to something substantial enough to be able to hedge out the incumbent. Even though 2027 is still far from now. But you talked about his age. It might be a factor, but he's an experienced man. He knows what to do. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to work on his strengths and minimize his strengths and minimize his weaknesses to be able to achieve what he set out to do.
Let me ask you.
He's not able to put a coalition together, which is, a coalition in the sense of getting all of these co-aspirants, maybe get a bit of, I think his dream really. His dream is to reenact what happened in 2019, where he was the flag bearer and Peter Obi was his running mate. I think that's what he's looking at, but it just happens that the train has since moved. Peter Obi has become a man of himself. He now has millions of people backing who are not willing, who are already even saying out there that it's Peter Obi or nothing else. So, and that's why it's a difficult one. And there's some people also backing Atiku and saying it is either Atiku or nobody else. So, and unless the two of them are able to come together as one to run on a single platform, what they will be doing will be dividing the votes, and that at the end of the day is going to be to the benefit of the incumbent president, President Bola Ahmed.
Let's just leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on the program, and thanks for your insights as always. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.